Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Gorgeous Gold. I'd first like to begin by saying thank you so much to everyone who supported me. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I really can't express that enough. If you are new, please like, please share, please subscribe. I'm trying to help us heal as a collective and I appreciate all the support I can get. I'm coming on today to do an Attracting a Life Beyond Your Dreams video series. We are continuing volume 3 and this is part 4. This is going to be the final part to this volume and we will begin volume 4 next week. I'm actually not sure what volume 4 is yet. Haven't meditated on it, but I know it's going to be big. Like I feel like it's going to be big. So what part 4 of this series today is going to be about is bridging the gaps. And what I plan to do with this video is kind of take all of the things we've worked with over the last 3 parts and discuss how you would tie them all together and continue to use these, because the thing of it is the homework assignments, all that stuff, it wasn't just meant to be a one-time thing where you just do it that week and then you're done. No, these are skills and tips that you will continue to use until your healing work of your inner child and all of those things are healed, until they're complete. And so I was just going to take time with this volume to basically discuss some things that I've personally been experiencing on my own journey and just kind of go over some things. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'd like to ask the universe to place a bubble around me and anyone tuning into this video. Fill it with bright white lights, 3 golden rings, and violet flames. May it shine so bright that nothing negative may ever attach. Sorry guys, if you see me looking down, I have my notes so I can stay on topic because I literally am like a squirrel. I just bounce everywhere and get off topic. So we're gonna start by talking about the steps. So the steps that I've given you are basically to talk to your inner child, to connect with your inner child, and to recognize triggers. And so all of those go together because when you are triggered, you need to have the ability to connect with yourself and detach from the situation, talk to your inner child, and discover exactly what is going on. I'm pretty sure you guys know that from the things that, you know, we've already talked about. But it gets harder as you progress through your journey, because when you first begin the childhood wound healing and the inner child healing work, it's painful. The journey itself, the whole journey is painful, I will be honest. It's digging deep into things that have taken place that you may not have wanted to face, and just it's digging really deep into core issues, and so it brings up a lot of things. When you get to the final stages of your inner childhood work, and I'm not saying that this is going to be, you know, snap like that, because I've been doing this work for years now and I'm just now getting to the core stuff. Guys, that is the most important time to make sure you stay connected and that you use those little homeworks and you use those things to make it through that. And so with that being said, I would like to just kind of go into a personal story. This week, well, as you guys know, last week and this week I was on vacation in Los Angeles and I came back home. And when we were on vacation, I experienced a lot of spiritual awakenings and healings and triggering. I feel like I'm getting down to the core issues, the core things that I've needed to work on. And so it brings up a lot of pain. And my inner child, I can't even explain the things that I've been feeling this week. I've been feeling heavy, I've been feeling gloomy, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys can resonate with that. I've been feeling just out of it and not myself, not my best self, and honestly feeling like I could be doing so much more than what I am doing. And so I find myself beating myself up because of inner childhood wounds. I've always had that need to be a perfectionist because I wanted to feel loved. I didn't feel very loved as a child. I was raised by my grandma and she loved me unconditionally, but I didn't have the love from my parents. from my mom and from my dad, which is critical to the development of a child, because when you are a baby and when you are younger, that is how you learn how to trust the world, by how your family treats you. And so if you come from rocky childhood, as you guys know, that's the point of this inner childhood work, you already start off, you know, at a lesser advantage. You already start off disadvantaged. And so going through the core healing work and feeling like I wasn't good enough, or feeling this week as if I haven't made it to where I wanted to be or where I should be by now, those are the things that you go through when it's important to use the things that we have discussed in the previous volumes. Those are the times that you need to turn inward and really talk to your little girl or talk to your little boy and realize that, you know, you're triggered, but if this stuff isn't dealt with, then it will lay dormant in your body and it'll come up eventually, time and time again. Whether it comes up through relationships that are attracted into your life, or if it comes up through jobs that are coming into your life, or friendships, whatever it is, it will show up in many different ways and you will constantly be triggered because it is something in your body that needs to be healed. It is something that until you face it, you will never defeat it. And so I shared that story to just tell you guys that, basically to share with you that I'm human too, and that I'm going through this healing work that I'm telling you guys about just the same. And also to share with you that it's worth it. Even when it feels like it isn't, it's worth it. And even when it feels like it's so painful and the easiest thing for you to do in this journey is to just walk away, it's worth it. And it's also important to be the parents that you needed. If when you were younger, you felt unloved, you felt unsafe, you felt unprotected, and you just felt neglected, or you felt like the black sheep of your family, whatever it is, everybody has their own story. Everybody has their own perception of their reality. And so whatever your perception is and whatever you felt you could have used as a child, it is important right now for you to do the inner childhood work and for you to step up and take on the role of the adult and of the parent that you needed when you were a child. Because then you, as an inner child and as an adult child, because you know, if you don't heal those childhood wounds, you grow up to be an adult child. They don't just go away because you age. The pain, hurt, heartbreak, disappointments, all of it, it's still there. It just goes with you every day. So until you actually face these demons and face these situations, they will lie dormant, like I said. And so it's just important for you to remind yourself to be the parent that you've always needed. And that is literally the main purpose of this inner child work, because let's face it, if we can be honest, you may need an apology from your mom or from your dad, but you may never get it. Maybe your parents have passed, which I'm sorry if that has happened, or maybe they're alive, but you just don't speak and they don't see things from your side. So I say that to just basically say, sometimes you wait for something from someone else that you may never get, and you can't stop your life or spend the rest of your life blaming them for something that cannot be changed and for something that they may not even see as, you know, a problem. Because as I said, your perception is your reality. So for instance, for example, I had an awakening in Los Angeles. I was at the beach. It was amazing. But I had a flashback, so to speak, of my life as a whole. It was kind of like a movie, a synopsis, but it was just all in, it was like a minute of just little snippets of my life. And within those snippets, I saw areas of my life where I perceived my reality, what I perceived wasn't exactly what that person probably meant. And you see life through your eyes, and you see life through how you were raised. So I was raised in a family where we always feel like people are against us. So even when you have healthy relationships, or you have people that are not necessarily against you, or you have people that are actually trying to help you and trying to love you and trying to be the support that you needed, you look for the faults in them because one, your inner child feels like you don't deserve it, and two, that is your perception because that is how you were raised. That is your reality. So your perception based on how you were raised is that everyone is probably against you, even the people that were supposed to trust you. And then if you throw it in there that I already started off with the faulty trust system because I wasn't raised by the people that are supposed to teach you trust. It's just hard to be trusting. So oftentimes my perception will be that people are deceiving me even when they're not. I've had that where I've let people go or I've perceived something completely different than what was actually happening. And then I'll communicate my way through it and I'll talk to the person now that I'm older and I'm able to understand and see these types of things. I'll speak to the person and just to see what they actually meant from it and what I took from it shows that your perception is truly your reality. And so it's important for you to go back and do this work and to heal these wounds because your perception is truly your reality. I'm going to keep saying that, guys, because it's so true. If you've spent your life being lied to or lying to others, you will perceive that everyone is always lying to you. And then you create that reality. Because the truth of the matter is if you accuse somebody enough times of something, eventually either that person's going to do it or they're going to walk away from you because they can't keep proving to you that they're not going to do it. If this makes sense. These steps bridge the gap between the life you want to live and the life you are living. That's why this is called bridging the gaps. Going back and doing this inner childhood work and digging deep, even through the pain, will change your life. And I say this from experience, guys. The healing and the things that I've experienced over these last couple years have shown me that there is beauty in the pain. And in order to have the good, I wouldn't be who I am or appreciate the things that do come into my life or the people that do and that love me unconditionally if I didn't come from the rocky grounds that I came from. So it's important for you to bridge the gap and to finally see the beauty in the pain, to finally see the beauty in all of the difficulty that you've gone through, and for once and for all to finally heal it. Don't temporarily, numb it. Don't abuse drugs. Don't be an alcoholic. Don't try to mask it. Dig deep and actually heal it. Be the person that you've always needed. And when you do that, you will be so surprised at how your perception changes and how your reality and what you see in life changes, because you were never meant to be broken from the things that you've experienced. In fact, the complete opposite. You were meant to build a stronger foundation from the things that you've experienced. You were meant to spread beauty and love into the world from the things that you've experienced. You were meant to take all of that pain and all of that suffering and use it to create unconditional love, because everything in life works on polar opposites. So you will not know love if you have not known hate. And hate all stems from fear. So I should say you will not know love if you do not know fear. You will not know happiness if you've never known sadness. You will not know what it feels like to be grateful to have money, honestly, if you never struggled. Those people, you guys, everybody knows the people that grew up fortunate and that have a lot of money, and oftentimes they take it for granted, and then later on the universe slaps them down and takes their money, and then they have no idea how to survive because they never experienced it. But it was only taken away from them because they didn't appreciate what they had. They didn't appreciate what they had because they've always had it. So for the people that were not from those circumstances and didn't come for money, and then they get money, you appreciate it a lot more. And it's basically saying, if you come from humble beginnings, remain humble. Also, just it's important in life in general to find the beauty in the pain. There's always a silver lining in every situation that has come about in our lives. I brought up that personal story, guys, about California and about my childhood because, like I said, difficulties will arise on this journey. And as you continue to do these homework assignments, and as you continue to watch these volumes with me, and as we continue to heal as a collective, I want you guys to know that you're not always going to feel happy about it. You're not always going to want to wake up and do this. You're not always going to want to talk to your inner child. You're not always going to want to do this work because, to be honest with you, it's much easier to continue your life in the fog and in the depression than it is to face these demons. Because throughout the process, you're going to learn stuff about yourself that you probably are not going to like, and you're going to learn stuff about others that you're probably not going to like. So you do these assignments and you do this inner childhood work so that you can step out of the matrix, so that you can step out of the pain, and so that you can step out of the fear, and so that you can grow as a person, and so that you can move differently and love differently, and honestly be willing and able to accept yourself. Because when you discover yourself and have the love within yourself, nothing or no one can ever take that away from you. And there's something about having that self-love that brings a sense of freedom to you. There's something about this healing work that brings a sense of freedom and peace and acceptance in your life. And I feel that it's because you realize this life is you're meant to live to be happy. You want to be free, and you realize that outside things will not do that. Think about it, guys. You get that new relationship, and you feel so great when you first meet that person. They make you feel really beautiful about yourself. You feel really great, and everything's perfect. That's the honeymoon phase. But then time goes on, and you're with the person for a long time. Like, I've been with my husband now for 10 years. And, you know, as time goes on, you tend to take people for granted, or you tend to, you know, just lose that excitement, that honeymoon phase. Not to say you still don't love each other dearly, but that person no longer is validating you. And think about how you feel when that person is no longer validating you. You feel empty, you feel confused, you feel like they're not attracted to you, you feel like something's wrong with you, you feel like this always happens to you. You go into that victim mindset and start playing all of these scenarios in your brain. Now, take the same situation. You're in a relationship. You guys are in that honeymoon phase. They validate you, they love you, they tell you how beautiful you are. But as they're doing that, you do it as well. So then when you get to the 10-year mark, or you get to the 15, 20 years, or even 3, 4 years, when you get to those marks and they're no longer telling you those things, you are not shaken by them. You can communicate with them and tell them, you know, this hurts me that you don't do that. I really loved that you did it. But it doesn't break you, because you've been telling yourself that for years. So you know you're worth it. You know you're beautiful. You know you're not alone. And you know that even if this didn't work out for whatever reason, you'd be okay. One thing that I've learned over the years, and that I love, one of my dearest and closest friends to my entire heart, she told me, you know, you are your nutrients. Everyone else is your dessert. You are your food. Everyone else is your dessert. And I live by that. I live by it because I need me to survive. I need me for love. I need me to take care of myself. Everyone else is dessert. It's so yummy, but you don't need dessert. You really don't. You need food. You don't need dessert. Dessert is a privilege. Dessert is what is the word that I'm looking for? It's like something that you just delight. It's just indulging. It's indulgence. A dessert is something for you to indulge on. It's not something that you need. So don't live your life not without doing this healing work and projecting and being codependent and being attached to outside things. That's the point of this. This is bridging the gaps, guys. This is bridging the gaps of codependency, of attachment, of abandonment issues. This is bridging the gap between your adult self and your childhood self. These steps that I've given you, these are things to make you see your own self-worth, to make you feel and see your own beauty, and to discover that everything outside of you should never disturb what's inside of you. And the only way for you to do that and for you to not be disturbed by those things is for you to do the healing work, is for you to talk to your inner child, is for you to recognize when you're being triggered. It is for you to understand and know that you are whole without anything else. Another example that I can use that I see often is parents that, you know, they live their lives through their children, or not even live their lives through their children. They are unhappy and unfulfilled within themselves, so they project this clinginess and like neediness to their children. And so that creates a resentment from their children to them, because the children feel that they are being required to fill some void in their parents that they can't deal with. And then that leads to childhood wounds that they need to heal. So you healing your inner child bridges the gaps from all different areas. It's not just, you know, doing this just to do it. This is healing your life as a whole. It will heal your relationships. It will heal your parenting. It will heal a lot of different things, because it's unhealthy for parents to project all of their emptiness and needs onto their kids. And for so long, I wanted a baby personally, because I was unhappy with myself before I started doing this work, and I was unhappy with the way my life was going, and I wanted a sense of purpose. I wanted something to love and someone to love me. And I know that that's not a reason to have a baby, but you wouldn't be surprised that a lot of women have babies for that very reason. They feel a sense of emptiness, and a baby brings them fulfillment. A baby is something that they can attach to and love and always have that comfort. And it's unhealthy. It really is. That's not a reason to have a baby, because then you create a cycle once again. Now this child grows up with their parent projecting all of this emptiness that they feel inside onto them, and so they are over attached to their kids and they're codependent upon their kids. And then the child grows up codependent, and it creates another cycle. So then that kid's now forced to do inner childhood work because the parent didn't heal. And a lot of us, that's the situation that has happened to us. Our parents, well, I can't say us because I'm not a part of that group, but I know people that are. Our parents necessarily didn't heal themselves, or they had voids within themselves, and they projected it on to their kids. And now their children are walking around feeling resentment towards their parents and anger and hatred because their parents were overly attached and codependent to them, which caused them to feel unhealthy and just feel like there was an unhealthy bond. So it's important to do this inner childhood work, because like I just said, it will change every area of your life. You will start to see the reflections just seeping, like pouring in front of your face of these changes that you've made. You will start to see things that changed for the better that you didn't even notice were damaged, by you just taking the steps to heal your inner child, and taking the steps to know your inner self, and taking the steps to recognize triggers, and to recognize codependency, and to recognize attachment, and to recognize when it's just your little girl or your little boy reaching out for that attention and that love that they didn't get. So you're healing on all areas, and it is a beautiful thing. It's something that cannot be replaced. It's something that it frees you. I can't think of any other word. It is freedom. Freedom from the need of others. And don't get me wrong, we are human beings, so we all require connection, but it's so much better when you connect with someone when you are already whole in yourself. Then you're able to connect with them in a healthy way, and it's not a codependent way, and nobody has to run. Everybody knows if you keep chasing something, the more you pull and pull and pull and pull and pull and try to get that thing, the more it pushes away from you. Sometimes people don't want that. Like, they don't want somebody to just be pulling at their energy. Let's face it, it's already hard enough to take care of yourself as a person. It's harder to take care of yourself and another person that's extremely attached and codependent upon you. And so, bridging the gaps, guys. We've got to do this healing work. We've got to come together as a collective. We've got to be able to recognize the beauty in the pain, and we've got to be really willing and able to heal these things so that we as a collective, as a world, can be healed. Because our childhood wounds play a part in every aspect of our lives. Every aspect. That's why so many things happen. That's why there's so much hate. It's all ego. It's all inner childhood wounds that were never taken care of. And we've got to start doing it. We really do. It's so important. I can't even express it enough. And I know that it is painful, but I want every person that I encounter with this video to know I'm personally here for you. And I'm personally always sending you love and light. I send love and light to the collective every single day. And if you ever need love or support or guidance, shoot me an email. And even if I do not write you back, trust and know I'm sending you Reiki love and healing, because I've felt the pain. I've felt the tears. I'm feeling the pain. I feel the tears. I feel the sadness and the anger and the triggering and the wounds. I feel all of it. It's not something that is overnight. And I know that if we all support one another, it makes this healing journey just that much easier. Guys, I'm going to leave you with a homework assignment this week. I want you to create a poster board. Go to Walmart. Poster boards are literally like 79 cents at Walmart. It doesn't matter what color you get. It doesn't matter anything. Whatever creative outlet you would like to do. If you're more of a visual person, then use pictures. If you like to write, then use words. I personally use words. I love to write. I'm not really visual. I don't like the picture thing. Anyways, create a poster board. I want you to write down a list of words or find pictures, whatever you can do, to describe and represent all the things that you love about yourself. And I need it to be a poster board, guys, because I want you to hang this in your room. I want you to hang this in your sacred space so that you can see it every time. Because trust me, from personal experience, I have my poster board hanging in my room right now. I've had it in there for years. You will need it. You need reminding some days of those things that you love about yourself. And honestly, the more you repeat them, the more you look at that list, the more you go over it and review it, the more those aspects of yourself shine brighter. So it needs to be a poster board, because if you can only think of 10 things you love about yourself, then you can start there, but you should add it. I literally have a list of 30 things. Like, it needs to be a large list. Think of all the aspects you love about yourself. Think of every single personality trait, every piece of you that you truly love about yourself. And hang it up, like I said, where you can see it on the daily basis, because it's beautiful, and you will be surprised at what it pulls you through, at what it brings you to, and at what you can do with it. You will literally be surprised at the beauty that appears in your life. So, again, go to Walmart or Target or wherever you can go. And if you can't go get a poster board, guys, then okay, it's fine. Make it on a piece of paper, whatever you have available to you. A poster board just allows you more space and more room to be creative, and it also just allows you to literally enjoy this and use it as like a school art project. You know, we all loved art in school. So just make this about yourself, and at the top label it as things I love about myself, or things I love about Gort Gigi, you know, things I love about whatever your name is, things I love about myself, and just go. Allow yourself to flow freely and don't question it. Whatever comes in your mind and whatever you truly feel from your heart, put it on that list, guys. Really do it. This this series is meant to bring healing, guys, and I really pray that whoever is watching this and whoever needs to watch this is touched by it, and that you do this healing work. And I want you guys to know that as a collective, we can change the world. We really can. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. I really hope that you appreciate these videos. If you need support, if you need anything, if you want to book a private session with me, if you want to go deeper into these things, please contact me at gorgeousgold at 94 or gorgeousgold94@gmail.com. The information will be in the description box. I love you guys. I'm sending you so much love and light throughout this week, throughout this lifetime. Just, I love you. Thank you.